My first finished read of Pride Month is a Sapphic post-apocalyptic eco-horror with some truly terrifying monsters. And that was We Call Them Witches by India Rose Bauer. No one is really sure what the monsters are. People just kind of started calling them witches because they needed a word for what was haunting them. One day everything was normal and then they were everywhere. Sarah and her family were able to escape the city and now they just kind of live on the run. They've never found anywhere that really feels safe for any extended period of time. Thankfully, Sarah's ma has a lot of knowledge that helps to keep them safe. She had picked it up from her parents in what she thought was just stories, just some folklore that they had passed down. But it works. So Sarah, her ma, her older sibling Danny, and Danny's wife, they do everything that they can to keep the younger siblings safe and sheltered as much as possible. Unfortunately, it's not enough. Shortly after they find this girl curled up unconscious just outside their wards, who claims to have escaped the witches, one of Sarah's younger siblings is taken. But if the witches kept this girl alive long enough for her to escape, maybe there's still a chance to save him. I know there are strong differing opinions about whether it's okay to portray LGBTQIA+ characters with very strong faults or even outright harmful behaviors and traits. Personally, when I am reading this kind of horror, any perfect character, no matter their demographic, is gonna have a really hard time gaining either my interest or my trust. It's gonna be almost impossible for them to get both. Sarah's family has watched the entirety of society collapse around them. They heard screams outside their doors. They survived, sure, but they are traumatized and they behave like it. So yeah, they often don't treat each other well, even when they do care for one another. But I honestly find that more realistic given the circumstances. To that end, I really appreciated how well the author demonstrated the danger of this world. While all of our characters have now spent a significant amount of time surviving in this new reality, their roles differ significantly and their behavior reflects that. And it is a little bit of a chicken and an egg whether their roles were chosen because of their personality or whether their personality has adapted to suit their role. In Sarah's role, much as in other aspects of her life, she feels very caught in the middle. When the most physically capable of the family go out to patrol the borders or do missions, she is the one left behind to defend the more vulnerable among them. This ends up meaning that she has a lot of knowledge in theory about how to defend herself and those around her, but she doesn't really have to put it into practice often. Not to the extent that Danny and Ma do, certainly. As a result, we see a gripping and thoroughly realistic portrayal of a freeze response in a moment of overwhelm. I really enjoyed in this that the characters didn't have all of the answers. It actually led to a lot of really sweet bonding moments when they played a game about guessing where this might have come from. The only rule was that you couldn't get too serious with your theories. The readers also have some ambiguity left for us in the end, and I liked that. I can understand why some readers might feel a little bit more frustrated, but I don't think all questions need to be answered to tell a story fully. Some of the open ends are going to inspire continued thought or maybe even discussion with other readers. This is a book that wants to stay on your mind long after that final page. We Call Them Witches is available through all your favorite book retailers. I personally borrowed mine through my local library. As always, there is a longer write-up of all of this, along with all content warnings available on my website at writing.hallidaynelson.com. And I want to know what you're reading too, because no matter how big this TBR pile behind me gets, I'm gonna let it keep growing. Happy reading.